All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the wrap up episode of the Beginner to Master series. Won't be playing any games, just want to uh, have one last episode to kind of talk about the series and what we covered and um, yeah, set the stage for future content, I guess. And I think the first thing to say was just thanks for watching. I know I've said it multiple times, but it was a lot of fun to record the series, especially when I was on the second account and was climbing through the ranks. I know things slowed down a little bit after that account got banned. It was a little less motivating, I suppose, to climb because I was just playing on my main account. So um, I appreciate the uh, that you all stuck with me. Um, so yeah, um, thanks again for watching and commenting and reaching out on Board Game Arena. You just saw a message pop up from someone who uh, I met through the series, and I've had a number of people reach out, and I always appreciate that. It's nice to hear that the videos are helping. So please, if you haven't, feel free to do so. Um, and yeah, just to talk a little bit about like progressing at Azul. I think the goal of the series was to hopefully, in a way, simplify Azul and highlight, what the important things to notice and to think about are, as well as, of course, like defining the baseline strategy, just to kind of give you a starting point for every game. Um, and I, you know, I played the way that I play normally. Um, I didn't change anything about my play for the series. So, in some regards, that's maybe harder for true beginners to latch onto, because uh, maybe you need to familiarize yourself with some of the game basics. But I hope that for some of the kind of mid-level or higher level players that are looking to push it to the next level, you found maybe some small things here or there that were helpful. But if you are a beginner, hopefully you saw that um, in general, nothing I was doing was looking too far ahead or calculating points a bunch. I think maybe to my detriment, I didn't do much calculation during the series, but that like I said, I that is how I normally play. So it's pretty rare that other than round five, I'm doing much in the way of point calculation. Um, so you don't have to be looking six moves ahead or constantly calculating points to find the optimal move to be successful at this game. So um, that is part of the message that I wanted to get across, that more of the game is about identifying in a given round um, what tiles are important to you and important to your opponent, and how to create situations that are, hopefully both beneficial to you and hurtful to your opponent. Um, those situations don't always exist, but then you're looking at navigating um, whether or not to prioritize your own building versus defending against your opponent. Um, and of course, the biggest thing with, let's call it, micro strategy was being mindful of potentially ending up with a lot of negatives in a round. and being mindful of where we can potentially dump negatives on our opponent and handling those end of round scenarios to either ensure that we don't get stuck with something we can't play or that we stick our opponent with something that they can't play. Um, so, that's the most like succinct way to to highlight the main points of the series. Yeah, I don't know that there's um, much else to say. I think one thing to keep in mind is that uh, nothing that I said or did in the series is gospel. Um, I am far from the best player at this game. Um, when I started the series, I was somewhere around 700, and by the time the series ended, I did manage to hit 800, which is awesome. But to be honest, like 800 was something I thought was out of reach for myself. Um, and my goal in the series was just to show you how you could get to 700. Um, and now we have, I guess, some evidence that that same gameplay can get you to 800, which is awesome. Um, but the point being, like, if you have ideas or strategies or things that seem outside of the box, you should pursue those and try them and test them because, um, there's a pretty like standard approach I feel to playing Azul on this site, which is like the 2 row 1 column strategy. Of course, you deviate from it occasionally, but maybe there are other ideas out there that could exploit how everyone else is playing. So don't don't be afraid to try new things, and um, even in picking up things from this series, when you try new things, it may not go well. You can see my progression plot here. There's a lot of big drops, and some of that is trying new things. And when you try new things, it's going to take a while to get used to what those are. So, I used to build the top 3 rows in round one every game. That would be my focus, just the top 3 rows in round one. And when I started like watching Queen Dong and Saprolot, I noticed like, wow, they really put more emphasis on rows 4 and 5. Um, and I started, trying to do that. And I'm sure when I first started doing that, it didn't go well because then you enter round two with some incomplete rows and you have to be really careful of negatives. But forcing yourself to try new things will, um, I think, kind of elevate your play in the long run because you put yourself in uncomfortable situations and learn how to get out of them. Um, and that's what a lot of becoming a consistent winner at Azul is, um, because eventually you'll get tile draws that put you in uncomfortable situations no matter how well you played the previous round or rounds. And learning how to navigate those draws, um, will put you into the 70-80% win range, um, versus, uh, just unfortunately losing whenever you run into a bad draw. So, um, yeah, so it's important to continue trying and continue um, learning and exploring. And don't be too concerned if you have a huge ELO drop. Um, that will happen. You'll run into a series of bad luck or bad days. Um, one other thing I want to point out from the series, actually, now that I think about it, is um, the losses all came in 2 episodes. So I think I lost 2 games in episode 4, and then I lost 3 games in episode 14, I think, or 11 maybe. Um, and something I know about myself is, when I lose, my tendency is to try to just go win that ELO back right away. And I think it can lead to playing rushed or playing frustrated. Um, and the, I think, better habit to have is um, to take a step away from the game, for even just 10 or 15 minutes, maybe just reset yourself. Especially if it was a frustrating loss, don't just jump right back into another game, because you're more likely to just compound those losses on top of each other and end up with, 100 ELO drop or something like you see here. Um, so if you can, or if you want to, take a step back when you lose. I think we saw evidence in the series that the losses piled on. Um, and conversely, when you're playing well, the wins can really pile on. You can just feel like you're seeing everything. So, um, yeah, so be mindful of your mental state while you're playing, and especially if you take a loss, maybe it's best to take some deep breaths or uh, to step away for a bit. So, um, yeah, in terms of what's coming up, I definitely want to do more of the studying series. There was a recent game between Saprolot and Phosphate, who are currently 1-2 in the world. So probably check that out. Um, and I still have a list of game reviews to do from viewers. Um, I'm not sure what I'll do in terms of gameplay videos. Um, I could just like play and record arena games uh, or something, but um, yeah, let me know in the comments if you have watched some of the review videos, how you like those relative to the gameplay videos. Um, if people just like overwhelmingly like the review style better, then I'll just stick with that over the live gameplay, especially since I don't have like a particular um, theme to a gameplay video now that this series is over. So um, yeah, let me know what you think. But yeah, for now, the next video I'll plan on doing is that saprolot versus phosphate study session. Um, so hopefully I'll see you in that video. Again, thank you for watching this video, for watching the series. Um, it was tons of fun, and please feel free to reach out on Board Game Arena if you haven't. Always happy to chat Azul strategy. Um, so yeah, don't hesitate. All right, thanks again, and see you next time.